And we're live.
I'd rather watch women's volleyball. I'd watch women's volleyball if it was just on, though.
I subscribe to the women's volleyball subreddit.
Yeah, good God! Like, are there any ugly women who play beach volleyball? It's almost like you have to be like attractive and like outgoing to even get on the volleyball team at like a low level.
I watch them, I wouldn't know what their faces look like.
They have heads. I didn't know.
I think women's volleyball is just leaning forward and giving signals behind your pussy.
Fuck me, like. I bet at some point some like ugly player was like, yeah, maybe we could go to like swim shorts, wear trunks like the guys, and they just like like blows were just raining down upon her immediately.
No one's gonna watch if we do that, you fucking idiot. We got to keep at least 8,000 eyes nationally on the Olympics.
If those girls wore cargo shorts and fucking like long sleeve t-shirts or something like that, the ratings would plummet.
I hate it when the MMA girls do that. Sometimes the MMA girls wear like something like a t-shirt. What they should be fighting in is double sports bra. People don't watch women MMA. The hottest outfit, like Ronda Rousey used to wear, a sports bra, and then a sports bra over that is like a second layer of modesty,
titty protection.
Yeah,
the titties will pop out with only one sports bra.
It could happen. And they wear like booty shorts on the bottom. It's not necessarily a bikini, but it's booty shorts, and that is, to me, is like the appropriate women's fighting attire. When they show up in a full rash guard like a child wears at the pool, no, that's
sometimes you understand though. There was some of them I would prefer they wear the rash guard.
Well, I would still rather see what I'm mocking.
I didn't know that.
Enough. Okay, I usually don't mock, but actually I do. Remember that picture I sent? There was this one UFC night where the chick looked like Sid the Sloth with her fucking cross eyes, and I was like, immediately sending it to Woody like, what the fuck? He's like, I know, right? She had won, and she was looking at both corners simultaneously.
Which sport has the best looking women?
Oh, gymnastics is way up there. I think it seems for some reason that pole vaulting, like if we're talking about Olympic sports, for some reason I think maybe you have to be like, I don't know.
Of course, we're all biased with the Allison Stokes effect. But actually, there are a lot of hot pole vaulters. My answers were surfing. And surfing has a nice balance of really athletic women, but not manly yet. You can go too far. MMA maybe goes too far sometimes. And mountain climbing. Mountain climbing chicks they're chicks, but they're super fit.
A lot of belly button hair out there on the slopes. I don't know about that one.
I hope.
A lot of ab definition, like horse strength.
I'm okay with ab definition. I just don't want pecs.
It's all pull muscles. They're not pushing.
Yeah, I think that if you do Olympic sports, there's a lot of them. And gymnastics, like the gymnastics uniforms are pretty hot. Like when one of those chicks does a whole floor routine, like her whole ass is showing by the time she gets to the other end of the mat. So that's always fun.
Remember, I was talking about you, like, hey, what if you lost a couple inches, but your muscles you got tanky? I feel like the women gymnastics are a little tanky to be.
It depends on which area of gymnastics, right? Because like the girls who do the floor routine can often be a little thick. Like I think they've got to like have a real strong like lower body to do some of those like aerials. Yeah. But it seems like the girls who do like the balance beam are often the opposite. They're more like ballet dancers in a way. They have nice bodies. The pole vaulters really do look great. The runners, not so much. I think but hurdles seems to be booty central. It seems like they need a lot of ass to get up and over. But back to the hottest women in sports. If we're talking about like actual sports, not like if we're not going to include javelin and shot put and fucking hammer throw and nonsense like that, because those aren't real sports. They're just not real fucking sports. Let's be real. Like they're
totally.
It's a sport. Like when's the last time you went out to the hammer throw course and
that doesn't make it a sport
and lobbed a few hammers with the boys?
I would argue that like measurable sport like hammer throw is more of a sport than something like gymnastics, which is interpreted.
I still see a hammer throw as more of a competition than a sport.
Oh,
I'm not sure gymnastics is a sport either, frankly, but I have no problem with it because
they don't wear much.
And they're not very old.
What are the qualifications for a sport? You have to be able to get hurt.
I like,
Says
for
the
me,
hockey guy.
yeah, look, I think a lot of things can be a sport, but the things that I consider like the core sports are usually involve a fucking ball, man. Like I'm not sure swimming is necessarily a sport. Like you can only compete because there's time. There's a stopwatch. I don't know. I like when there's a score to be had. Like water polo is a sport,
Yeah.
but
There's
I
a
don't
goal.
know that throwing a fucking javelin even applies to anything anymore. Like when they invented the Olympics, we were still throwing javelins in warfare. It made sense. Like it was
I
like,
just like a sport.
oh,
My favorite sports are the ones where there's like clear winners and losers. The purest sports are 1v1 to me, like wrestling, swimming, like where there's not a team to hide behind. Like football to me is somehow less pure. Certainly a sport. I'm not saying it's not a sport, but whose fault is it you lost that game? Well, no one person's fault typically. Same.
I
with
would argue
basketball.
that they're better competitions. Because like you said, there is something to be said about a team sport versus an individual sport. Like if we're just gonna run a mile and see who's the fastest in the world, that's on one guy's shoulders. It doesn't matter how good his defense is or if his special teams is going to be good that day. So it is different.
I think there's something cool about MMA in that, like, yeah, both you guys take off most of your clothes, lock them in a cage, see who walks out of here. Like that is a very pure sport to me.
Yeah, I was reading about like the original Olympics once, maybe even in high school, and they were talking about how rules became instituted over the years, and originally in wrestling, finger breaking wasn't against the rules, but there came to be a great Greek champion, Paulius the finger snapper, I suppose, and he would just, he would pin them, and then he'd just start snapping their fingers one by one until they tap. Can you imagine watching an event that barbaric when you're like, oh, and Polius has him down? Yes. Oh, he's isolating the hand. Oh, Michael's trying to hide his fingers. Look at him. And he's doing that thing where he's just like, he's like biting the guy's hand to like get a finger and just snap.
I tap. Not yet, you don't.
Dude, that's a special kind of brutal, isn't it? To like,
and they were all naked. Like early on,
they were actually fully naked. Yeah,
fully naked, breaking each other's fingers and biting. Do you think that like Olympics 2 had a lot of new rules? Where they're like, it's going to be great. The whole known world's going to play. And then people are breaking each other's fingers and biting each other. The javelins are turned on foes instead. I'm sure that there were never more rules added than between Olympics 1 and 2.
Instead of javelin catch, let's just let him hit the ground.
You gotta do that.
The javelin catch.
Javelin catch.
That's a good one.
But if we're talking about like team sports, like where that have hot chicks, softball's got to be pretty low on that one.
I'm
Man,
glad you went low. I was like, what? Have you lost your mind? Softball. The men that play softball.
Yeah, like if you want to see an ugly chick who smells bad, find a softball catcher. That's going to be the worst looking.
No, there
I remember the catcher for our high school
team.
softball team. Oh my!
Not a looker.
There are good looking people that play softball. I when I went to college, there was a girl in particular. It was just 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 on anybody's list. And she played softball. But I would say softball girls are less attractive than non-athletes. And
I've never done an analysis.
Typically, athletes beat non-athletes as a whole. But softball, I don't know what's up.
Oh, yeah. Super strong women. That's not a looker one. Like the Olympic competitions, weightlifting. Yeah.
Generally, no, because
testosterone and stuff, trying to get them all the edges they have,
and they just kind of like put on a lot of mass, and they don't really have a feminine look. They're not they're not really worried about any sort of visual aesthetic or anything like that. They're just like, I need to lift 200 pounds over my head real fucking bad, and whatever that takes. Yeah, that's not a good looking crowd.
Just I don't know why I'm being contrarian. This isn't an argument I think I can win, but I'm finding them to be better than I expected. No, not the heavy ones, right? Obviously, there's some big women here.
That one in the top left.
right. But the woman in blue next to her,
fucking pressing there. Is that 3 plates or 4? No, it's 2 plates. It's 2 plates. My bad. But that's 225.
Look at the blue woman next to her.
Yeah.
I'm not showing it to the audience, right?
It's a lot of forehead on her. And this is like, that she looks old. Am I the only one who thinks she looks really old to be fucking in the Olympics?
Here.
She's got old face.
I wonder if you don't age out of weightlifting.
She looks like she spent the pregame ugly crying.
What about this woman?
Okay, let's see.
Yeah, I think it's the same person.
God, what a camel toe.
Yeah, right?
Really? Yes. Yeah, that's bearing the brunt of it.
The gobbler.
The gobbler down there.
They call me Pussy the Gobbler.
How about what your search was, Woody? On the second row, the I guess 6th column, the blue USA.
Okay, like this little girl like doesn't even look like. What is she even lifting there? What is 20?
She's wearing a shirt that just says weightlifting.
It says Nike weightlifting.
Okay.
I'm always interested in like how much someone's actually lifting. Like it looks like there's a yellow plate on the outside. So I'm gonna say there's like 30 on each side. I'm gonna guess the yellow one's a 10 if the blue one's a 20.
Those are kilograms though.
Yeah.
Are you sure about that?
The last one I linked to show everyone again. She might like what's definitely true is hot girls do resistance training. No one's arguing against that. So she might not be an Olympic weightlifter. She might just be a hot girl doing resistance training.
I don't know if that, dude. I don't think that's kilos.
You might be right. I know. I've seen in a lot of
math in my head. There's no way she's pressing 160 pounds. Look at her arms.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, well, this is a woman competing in the Olympics, and these are kilos.
You got a big in here or what?
Yeah.
Goodness.
So that's 50.
See, this is what I was talking about when
it's
like
a very different woman, Taylor.
But that's true.
Oh, look at that minge.
Look at that minge.
Yeah. I saw
her pussy could eat that girl that you linked before this girl.
Oh yeah.
Who's the Captain Marvel chick?
Oh,
Brie, maybe?
Brie Larson.
She does resistance training. She has a good body mostly.
Sure.
Not a big butt, but
no, she's got a terrible ass.
Poor thing.
She'll be okay.
That's true too. Yeah, so hottest chicks, I'm gonna go with surfing. That's my best answer.
Final answer.
Although I will say it's one of those artistic judged sports.
You know, there's some hot female golfers. I know that just occurred to me. There's something about sports that require a bit of affluence to be a part of. That just means it's almost like pretty people end up being successful more than ugly people, and their children end up being able to play the more affluent sports. You know, there's not a lot of golf teams in the hood. So it just stands to reason, whether it's for whatever reason, that some pretty chicks playing golf.
Well, yeah, but they'll be like,
and tennis.
All people make more money. Yeah, I brought up tennis.
Oh, yeah, I didn't hear you. Yeah, those chicks know how to fucking dress. They're always wearing a skirt with like that does not cover their ass and panties.
It's like it's not supposed to, right? Like if your skirt didn't allow me to see up it every volley, then there's something wrong with your skirt.
Yeah,
they would be asked to leave Chuck E. Cheese if they dressed like that in an establishment for children that way.
Yeah,
like,
same with cheerleaders.
Yeah,
they're dressed like cheerleaders.
I have gone off on the cheerleader thing so many times. Like it seems like I'm the only person that noticed. But I'm still right. These little girls are being sexualized.